First thing I think of when I wake up in the morning is that I feel blessed and shocked at the same time, because it's almost unbelievable that I woke up. The pain I feel when I wake up is all over.
All right, everyone, let's dive into one of the most heartbreaking stories we've seen. We're meeting Robert, and his situation is beyond dire. Every morning, he's shocked he's still alive. He is in so much pain, he can barely move, and is completely dependent on his fiancée, Catherine, for absolutely everything, from getting out of bed to bathing. The physical and emotional tax this takes on both of them is staggering. He's trapped in a body that feels like a prison, and she's trapped as his full-time caretaker, watching the man she loves waste away.
Usually Catherine gets Robert's grocery, but today I'll handle it. I try to control Robert's food, but he's quite manipulative and he throws tantrums and gets angry.
This is enabling on a whole other level, folks. Robert's mother goes grocery shopping for him, and she describes his food preferences: greasy, spicy, salty, with zero vegetables. She openly admits he's manipulative and throws tantrums to get what he wants. But here's the kicker. She says his fiancée, Catherine, eats the exact same way, so they're compatible. Make it make sense. She's framing their shared deadly habits as a positive personality trait. This isn't compatibility, it's a codependent spiral to the grave. His mother sees him slowly killing himself with food, yet she still goes out and buys the very poison he demands. It's a tragic clown show.
But then things got bad for me one summer at 9 years old when I met a boy who happened to live 2 or 3 houses away, and he started inviting me over his house for lunch, and one day I was put in a very bad situation with him.
And here we go with the origin story, and it is a gut punch. This is beyond sad. It's genuinely horrifying. At just 9 years old, Robert was sexually abused by another boy in the neighborhood who then threatened to kill him if he ever told anyone. As a terrified child, with his parents too busy to notice his pain, his only escape, his only comfort, was the unlimited fried chicken and fries at their family restaurant. This food addiction is apparently a coping mechanism born from unspeakable trauma and fear. Food became his silent protector, the only thing that could numb the horror.
So what is with this Dilaudid medicine that you've been hooked on?
Only for extreme pain in my leg. And I try to take it as least as possible. When I walk or when I do exercises, then that really puts pressure on.
Enter the king, doctor, now, and he is walking into a medical minefield. He immediately clocks Robert's massive list of medications and zeroes in on the Dilaudid, a powerful, highly addictive opioid. Then comes the weigh-in, 842 pounds. Dr. Now doesn't mince words. He tells Robert his body is at its absolute limit. But the real intervention isn't just about the food, it's about the pills. He's admitting him to the hospital not only for a controlled diet, but to immediately cut him off from the painkillers, recognizing he's dealing with a severe, life-threatening addiction on 2 fronts. This is a massive but necessary intervention.
He's down to 547.
That's great.
Absolutely.
But looking at your masses, I can't tell which one is getting smaller, which one getting bigger.
Why don't you pull that side down for him so he can see?
Okay, this is going to be a really good help to get rid of this mass.
And here we have a brief, beautiful moment of hope. After months of hard work and getting his weight down significantly, Robert is finally approved for his first major surgery to remove one of his massive lymphedema masses. He is so motivated, talking about his goal of being able to walk down the aisle to marry Catherine. She is overcome with emotion, crying because for the first time in years, she sees a tangible future for them. This is the light at the end of the tunnel they have been fighting for. It feels like the ultimate turning point, a last chance to build the life they always dreamed of.
He's been struggling with wanting pain medication since he had surgery. We had Robert on minimal painkillers, and he wasn't happy with the limits we put on him. And once we started to take him completely off.
After his successful lymphedema surgery, Robert is supposed to be recovering. But when Dr. Now cuts back his pain medication, what does he do? He gets so upset that he deliberately tears his stitches open just to get another fix. I genuinely cannot believe it. This is a calculated act of a desperate addict. He is physically mutilating himself to manipulate the medical staff into giving him more narcotics. This is the most shocking failure of his journey, revealing the terrifying depth of his dependency. It's absolutely wild and deeply disturbing.
And the way it's been going is not how I hoped at all. After his surgery, he was in fairly good mood. In the first few days, he was normal Rob, and then it's like somebody flipped a switch.
Catherine, his fiancée who has sacrificed everything for him, is at her breaking point. She confronts him about his nasty attitude and refusal to do his exercises. And his response? He turns it all on her, making her feel guilty and trying to pull her into a hug to shut down the conversation. When she refuses, he escalates, telling her to just go back to Jersey if she's not happy. This is a masterclass in narcissistic manipulation. He is using emotional abuse and gaslighting to evade all responsibility for his own toxic behavior.
Not me wanting to do this problem.
Just stop with the excuses and get out of this bed.
See, I fully understand what you mean. The only thing is that my leg is not letting me do it. It's not because...
That's what he's talking about.
Dr. Now comes to the rehab facility and confronts Robert about his complete lack of progress and his manipulative excuses. Robert blames his leg pain, but Dr. Now isn't buying it. He calls him out directly, telling him to stop with the excuses and get out of bed. Then he drops the hammer. All plans for any future surgeries are off the table until Robert proves he is willing to do the work. He's being moved to a long-term care facility, and this is his absolute last chance. No more games, no more blaming pain. It is a final ultimatum.
I really was hoping that it was just the most surreal nightmare. It's not. I just can't believe that I've lost him. Last night, I was getting ready to go, and he says, please don't leave me tonight.
Just as he was starting to make progress, Robert's body failed him. He gave up. One night, he tells Catherine he doesn't think he's going to make it, and then he suffers a massive heart attack and dies in her arms. Are you kidding me? After all the progress, all the hope, it was too little, too late. His body simply couldn't take anymore. This is the devastating final chapter for a man who battled his demons, but in the end, couldn't overcome them.
Every day I wake up and have to face the reality of what my life has become. I'm so big now I can hardly move. All I can do now is scooch to the edge of my bed, go to the bathroom.
Okay people, meet Shawn and his absolute nightmare reality. This man is so large that he is literally stuck in his own bed, unable to do anything for himself. Every single movement is an agonizing, monumental effort. Just watching his mother and a helper struggle to clean him, trying to prevent the open sores that form in the folds of his skin, is genuinely harrowing. He can't breathe when he leans over. His body is actively shutting down. This is a man who is already living in his own tomb. The level of despair is insane.
I would lash out at people when I was angry. I would kick people. I bit someone once. I didn't control myself well because things were hard at home.
The origin story is just a textbook recipe for catastrophe. His childhood was a war zone, with a father who was verbally aggressive and would physically intimidate him by backing him into corners. Father of the year material. So what does a terrified kid do? He turns to food for comfort. Then, to make matters worse, his mother, riddled with her own issues and guilt, starts overcompensating by constantly giving him treats. So it brews into a perfect storm. Trauma from one parent, enabling from the other. Food became his only friend, his only source of safety, and it set the stage for this unbelievable crisis. This is where the monster was born.
Sometimes it's just easier to give him what he wants, and unfortunately, I do that all the time. Okie dokie. I've had people tell me, you don't have to give him food just because he says he's hungry.
His mother's justification for her enabling is one for the ages. She actually says that when your kid says they're hungry, you feed them. Are you kidding me? Ma'am, he is not a growing boy who needs a snack. He is a 900-pound man who is dying, and you are his primary supplier. Hand-delivering fast food and pizza is not love, it's being an accomplice. The delusion required to look at this situation and think another burger is the answer is infernal. It's a deeply toxic cycle where she feeds his addiction to ease her own conscience.
Looks like you're 919 pounds. You may be the heaviest person alive right now. This is not a good place to be. At your weight, it's a miracle that you're alive. Both Shawn and his mom claim they're ready to make change.
Whoa! This is the moment the fantasy world shatters. Shawn finally gets weighed on a bed scale, and the number is a mind-blowing 919 pounds. You can almost taste the shock in the room. Dr. Now then turns his attention to the mother, and he does not hold back. He tells her point blank that she is killing her son. He completely dismisses her claims of a 2,500-calorie diet, stating the obvious. Shawn must be consuming upwards of 20,000 calories a day, and she is the one bringing it to him. This is the first time anyone has looked her in the face and labeled her behavior for what it is.
Shawn, how you feel?
Extreme pain.
Where's your pain?
The tailbone and my back.
And how is your degree of ability to move around?
It's worse.
So after 2 months in Houston, Shawn shows up for his follow-up, and it is a complete disaster. He looks even bigger, he can barely move, and his pain is worse. And then Dr. Now confronts his mother, who plays dumb about the diet. Seriously? She's asking what he should be eating, as if Dr. Now didn't give her a detailed plan. This isn't ignorance, this is pure defiance. They have made 0 positive changes. This is the first, most critical test of their commitment, and they have failed in the most spectacular fashion. The level of self-sabotage is just wild. Dr. Now's frustration is practically boiling over, and you can't blame him.
That is unacceptable. You can't keep manipulating everyone like you have done with your mother. You're risking your life every day you do this. Either this stops now, or you can try to figure it out on your own.
After Shawn fakes a medical emergency to get out of physical therapy, Dr. Now confirms his suspicions and reveals the devastating truth. Shawn has gained over 40 pounds. He has had it. He looks at Shawn and tells him this manipulation has to stop now, that this is his absolute last chance. The ultimatum is brutal: lose 150 pounds in 2 months, or the program is over. Dr. Now is forcing him to confront the consequences of his own deception and his mother's complicity. No more games, no more excuses. It's either commit fully or accept his fate.
Could you think about saying no as a way of saying, I love you?
I can, because I've kind of had to learn to do that. And I can't say it's a struggle I've completely overcome. I still succumb sometimes.
This is the emotional breakthrough, folks. The psychologist, Dr. Everett, comes in and finally dissects the toxic dynamic for them to see. He brilliantly reframes the mother's entire worldview. He suggests that saying no to Shawn's demands for food isn't cruelty, but the ultimate act of love. He is giving her permission to stop being the enabler and start being the parent who will fight for her son's life. He also puts the responsibility back on Shawn, telling him he has to start moving for the things he wants. This is a complete reprogramming of their codependent relationship. This is the real work beginning.
6:36. Cutting it close, but you did it. So we're going to approve you for surgery.
Thank you. It's been a hard journey, but it's well worth it.
I'm proud of you.
And here it is, the moment of true progress. After that terrifying ultimatum from Dr. Now, they actually did it. Shawn gets on the scale, and the number is 636 pounds. He lost the 150 pounds. He actually met the impossible goal. The pure relief on both his and his mother's faces is something else. Dr. Now, seeing this incredible effort, gives him the words he's been waiting to hear. He is approved for weight loss surgery. This is the earned reward. This single moment proves that when pushed to the absolute brink, he found the will to fight for his own life.
I think I'd like to try and get outside for a little bit. I was barely able to move a year ago. Now I can get around a lot easier.
Good job, sweetie. You're doing great.
What an unbelievable transformation. The man who weighed over 1,000 pounds, who was a complete prisoner to his bed and his addiction, is now under 600 pounds and walking outside on his own. He's breathing fresh air and feeling the sun. It's a resurrection. He and his mother are no longer just surviving. They are planning a future with actual goals, things to look forward to. For Shawn, this is more than just weight loss. It's reclaiming a life that was all but over. From one of the saddest, most hopeless situations imaginable to this moment of freedom. Just wow.
And walking is extremely difficult. Every step is torture. I can only stand at 3 to 5 minutes because it's like you feel the weight and
My back feels like somebody's stabbing it.
All right, folks, we are starting with an absolute portrait of misery. Meet Kelly. Her life is a waking nightmare of constant, agonizing pain. She describes every single step as pure torture, feeling like a knife is being jammed into her back. Are you kidding me? The sheer dread she feels just approaching the shower is off the charts. Terrified that one slip will be the end because no one would even know she fell. This is a level of physical and psychological imprisonment that is absolutely staggering. Her body is a cage, and she is acutely aware that she is just one wrong move away from dying alone on her bathroom floor.
when I was 7, I was abused by an older neighborhood man. He just asked me to do things for him, like, go to the store or give him hugs and stuff like that. And I didn't think anything was wrong with it.
Her childhood was beyond tragic. It was pure horror. As a child, she was horrifically abused by a neighbor for years. When she finally found the courage to tell her own mother, what was the response? She was told to just forget about it. Seriously? No police, no protection, no comfort, just a complete and utter dismissal of her trauma. Her one protector completely failed her. So where does a child with that level of pain and abandonment turn? To the one thing that never judged her: food.
I feel trapped. I want to live. I want to graduate from college, but I don't think it's going to be much longer. I can do this until my heart probably would fail.
Isn't that something? While Kelly lives a life of complete isolation, her only visitor is her father. And what does he arrive with? A pizza. Look, his heart might be in the right place, but this is the perfect picture of misguided love fueling a deadly habit. He sees her condition, he knows she's immobile, yet he brings her the very thing that keeps her trapped. This isn't just a meal, it's a delivery of more prison walls. It maintains the status quo, allowing her to stay inside, eat her feelings, and continue her slow decline. It's a quiet, tragic form of enabling that makes a hopeless situation seem even more inescapable. What a move!
But like my knee was hurting, my leg hurt.
Did you drive or?
We flew down, but I didn't realize that like the experience through the airport was going to be like hard on my knees because it was just not enough space for like my legs on the plane. And so it was just like.
Dr. Now enters the scene, and his face says it all. The man is looking at a medical chart that is a laundry list of catastrophic failures. He tells Kelly her BMI of 117 is one of the highest he has ever seen. Wow! He immediately diagnoses her with congestive heart failure and lays out the unvarnished, brutal truth. She is in a race against time, and every single day is a gamble with death. There's no sugarcoating, no gentle suggestions. He is the first person to look her in the eye and articulate the sheer, immediate danger she is in.
Come on, you can do it.
I need help from the back maybe, so I don't know.
I'll hold it up and see if you can hold her leg up, pull her in. Come on, come on.
This is pure chaos, everyone. Right after her life-altering appointment with Dr. Now, Kelly attempts to get into the car and completely collapses. She gets wedged between the seats, unable to move, screaming in pain. Her friend is helpless, and they have to call in the fire department. Are you kidding me? You need an entire emergency crew just to get a person into a vehicle. It's a brutal public demonstration of just how completely her body has failed her. The journey to Houston has pushed her past her absolute limit.
Stressful because the food is nasty, and then it's like I order out because like I need to eat something. So I know I haven't been losing weight, and I am worried about what Dr. Now will say.
Here we go with the self-sabotage. Kelly is in a controlled rehab facility, a place designed to save her. And what does she do? She complains the healthy food is disgusting and starts secretly ordering takeout. Make it make sense. She's literally blaming the life-saving diet for forcing her to eat the very poison that is killing her. This is peak delusion. These aren't the actions of someone fighting for their life. They are the manipulative tactics of an addict who refuses to let go. She's weaponizing her picky eating to justify her own failure.
It's 636.4, so instead of losing 25 pounds, you gained 32. And that tells me that you're overeating every day of you've been in here.
Dr. Now comes to the rehab center for a weigh-in, and the result is a bombshell. Instead of losing weight, Kelly has gained 32 pounds. While in a medical facility, Dr. Now is furious. He tells her she's making excuses and that she has to decide right now whether she wants to live or die. He calls out her behavior for the manipulation it is. This is the ultimate confrontation, where her blatant self-destruction is laid bare. He is forcing her to face the consequences of her choices. No more games, no more blaming the food. It's a final, brutal ultimatum.
Are you ready to go home today?
Yes.
All right, well, you earned it. So we get you going here soon. And you're gonna stay with your cousin.
Yes.
After Dr. Now's ultimatum, Kelly finally gets with the program. She buckles down, and at the next weigh-in, she's made incredible progress. Dr. Now is so impressed that he says she has earned the right to go home and gives her the final goal to be approved for surgery: lose 40 more pounds. This is her last chance, the moment where it all looks possible. For the first time, there's a clear path forward, a light at the end of the tunnel. But, and this is a big but, it all hinges on her ability to do this on her own.
We want to try and do everything we can to help give them a normal life back by undoing the damage from years of unhealthy choices. Sometimes, in the end, the damage was just too great.
Wow. Just wow. This is the most tragic conclusion imaginable. Just when Kelly was finally on the right path, making real progress and feeling hopeful, we get a massive blow. Dr. Now receives a phone call from the medical examiner. Kelly's heart finally gave out. She died of cardiac arrest. Are you kidding me? After all that fighting, after finally turning the corner, it was simply too late. The years of damage were irreversible. It's a devastating final statement on her struggle. She fought so hard at the end, but the monster she created had already won.
I hate my life. I feel like I'm living the same miserable day over and over again. I'm hardly able to move because of my size.
All right, people, we are starting with an absolutely staggering scene. Meet Jean. Her life is a horrifying cycle, defined by her inability to move. She literally cannot get out of her armchair most days. She needs her parents just to use a mobile toilet and even to wipe herself. Are you kidding me? The level of humiliation and dependence is off the charts. She's almost 40 years old, trapped in a body that won't move, living a life of utter despair.
And we moved in with my grandmother to have someone look after me while my mom was at work. But my grandmother was extremely abusive to me. She would spank me with metal coat hangers.
And here we go with the origin story. And folks, it is a masterclass in profound trauma. Jean reveals she was sexually abused by her mother's boyfriend as a child, on top of being regularly beaten by her grandmother with metal coat hangers. Whoa! She kept it all a secret, finding solace in the one thing that never judged or hurt her: food. This isn't just a sad story, it's a chilling explanation for a lifetime of self-medication. Food became her only friend, her only escape from an unbearable reality, setting the stage for the crisis we see today.
I was really happy when my dad came to live with us. It felt like this big thing that was missing from my entire life finally had the chance to get repaired. And my dad has been back with me and my mom for the past 10 years. But it still didn't change the past.
Isn't that something? Jean's mother, Barbara, flat out admits she would have preferred if Jean had never been born, not because she doesn't love her, but because she'd rather die than see her daughter live this way. This deeply disturbing statement, while perhaps coming from a place of pain, reveals a toxic, enabling environment. Barbara sees her daughter's suffering, yet as we see, she's actively catering to her every food demand. It's a tragic dynamic where despair and misguided love create a deadly codependent spiral.
But I'm glad I'm at least able to fit in the car. But I have to be like this all the way to Houston. This is hard for both my mom and me.
On the crucial journey to Houston, before even facing Dr. Now, Jean demands a stop for a cigarette and a large soda, claiming she needs sugar for her nerves. Seriously? This isn't just a moment of weakness. It's a blatant disregard for her own health, a clear prioritization of immediate gratification over the life-saving changes she desperately needs. She's actively digging her own grave with every puff and every sip, proving that her addiction runs deeper than any fear of death. What a move!
To have a better life, I want to be able to take care of my mom and do what she needs me to do and be there for her. And I want to be able to have some kind of life that I never had a chance to.
Enter the King Doctor now, and he delivers one of his most shocking, direct confrontations yet. Jean is lying about her food intake, trying to convince him she eats very little. Dr. Now looks at her mother and says with chilling calm, "If you're gonna lie to me, we have a problem, and that problem is going to lead to Jean dying if it doesn't change." He then calls them both out for enabling, forcing them to confront the deadly dynamic they've created. This is a brutal reality check designed to shatter their shared delusion.
We got you in the hospital and you lost 53 pounds, halfway to your goal. So all you needed to do was lose the remaining 50 pounds in 6 weeks on your own to get down to your overall goal I gave you.
This is a manipulative meltdown in full swing. After gaining weight, Jean tries to tell Dr. Now she only ate over 1,200 calories one day. Are you kidding me? Dr. Now instantly calls her out on this ridiculous excuse, pointing out the obvious mathematical impossibility of such a small deviation leading to her weight gain. This is a desperate attempt to manipulate the narrative, to avoid accountability by cooking up flimsy excuses. She's using her tears and victimhood as a shield against the hard truth, unwilling to face her own self-sabotage.
I've seen 9,000 people up to this point like you, and you tell me I can't understand you between the 9,000 people, that none of them are different than you.
Everybody is not
I
the
do
same.
understand you.
This is it, people. Dr. Now, at his absolute boiling point, unloads on her. He basically tells Jean that she's falling from a cliff, and rather than take the rope she's being offered and climb, she's crying that nobody's helping her because she doesn't want to put in any effort. He cuts through all her excuses, stating she never started the program because she refuses to pull herself up. He explicitly says he can't do the work for her.
But I'm gonna give you another chance. So prove me wrong. Show me you're ready to do this, okay?
Okay.
I'll see you both in 2 months.
Despite her blatant failure and ongoing denial, he grants her one more chance, but with a chilling warning. He tells her to lose 100 pounds in 2 months and show me that I am wrong and you want to do this. The implication is clear. This is her final, absolute shot. It's a fleeting high before an almost inevitable crash. Knowing her history of excuses and manipulation, he's extending a lifeline, but clearly he's not holding his breath.
That you allow yourself to have your feelings. After that happens, you'll be able to focus on your life and what you need to do to feel whole again.
Right.
After everything, after Dr. Now gave her chance after chance, after losing her father in this very process, what's the first thing Jean does when she gets home? She immediately looks for food to numb the pain. Are you kidding me? The house is filled with grief, with the fresh wound of losing her dad, and her first instinct is to dive headfirst into her addiction. She couldn't even make it a day. This isn't just a wasted opportunity, it's a devastating testament to the sheer power of her addiction, utterly consuming her, even in the face of profound loss. Unbelievable. She has learned absolutely nothing, folks. Her comfort is quite literally killing her, and she still doesn't get it.